My name is Gaurav Gupta. I'm a management consultant with about 20 years of experience. I've worked in India as well as the United States with companies like McKinsey, Infosys, and A.T. Kearney. At present, I'm a consultant with a firm called Egon Zehnder based in Bangalore. I first came across Rishi 12 to 18 months ago when he came to our society to conduct classes on the Gita and the overall Vedanta philosophy. And it was really something I look forward to on Sunday mornings. I think my family and everyone started to get to know about it because I was so happy to attend these classes every Sunday morning. What stood out for me with Rishi was, one, he's someone like us. So it was in English, it was very realistic and down to earth as opposed to being either preachy or with any kind of religious flavor. So I found the leveling and the ability to relate to what Rishi was saying very helpful. Second, the coaching which he gave was very practical, good examples, not dwelling on a lot of theory, but very quickly being able to relate it to one's daily living and so on. And so the kinds of things I took away, for example, were being centered, how to separate yourself from the universe, how to look inside oneself for happiness, were some of the things that I carried with me after interacting with Rishi. So I'd really recommend Rishi's classes to anybody who is looking for reflection and understanding of the world around one, how one relates to one's colleagues, how one relates to one's family, and how one relates to the world at large. And this is something I would wholeheartedly go for again if I got the chance to again get time with Rishi. It's one of the most memorable things I've done and would want to do again.
Hi, I'm Lokesh Tripathi. I am right now working as a Senior Director of Product Management in one of the software companies in Bangalore. It's my job day in, day out is mostly about managing products and how that relates to users and how that relates to the areas that we are working on. I'm predominantly a management professional for past 15 years. So I have been knowing Rishi for almost past 15 years, and our knowing each other has been quite a role reversal. So earlier when I started to know Rishi, I was his trainer and teacher in Career Launcher when he joined for some of his initial classes. And now when I meet him over the past 15 years, I think the roles have reversed. We get to know each other and also get to understand each other a little more differently now. I look up to him now for a lot of motivational and spiritual leanings, and he actually comes back with a lot of very clear ideas around very normal, or rather very pertinent issues that we have in life these days, right? Whether it's about stress, whether it's about motivation, leadership, all of that. So I think Rishi has helped a lot, in at least from that perspective. I mean, when you look at all of us go through various levels of stress, and when you have someone who can actually guide you, or at least orient you around how do you manage that, how do you really see the locus of that control stands right inside you, right? Not really you start to blame external factors and a lot of other things, but essentially the stress, you have the locus of control right there inside you. I found that quite interesting. I found the whole idea of not trying to live in the past or in being too anxious about the future. I really like that, and it helped a lot. And at least in terms of orienting yourself, what has passed, what is in the future, nobody knows about it. Managing your stress becomes much easier once you start to be in the moment. It's easier said than done, but coming it from someone who has really gone through an essence of the entire Ayurvedic wisdoms through Vedanta teachings, I think it really helps a lot. So that was one of the positive things about the things that I saw from Rishi's trainings. Also about leadership, and I mean, when you get into situations where you have to lead people, you have to really walk the path, and then only you can see people coming along with you on those paths of leadership. It really helps a lot in those phases as well. I think Rishi is doing a great job of collecting these great fruits of wisdoms, collating them together, and these smaller little chunks of the wisdom pouring in from him really helps a lot. And I think there's a lot of essence behind that. I had gotten reoriented around Gita as well. There's so much out there that we often don't really give too much of importance to, but it applies so very well in our daily life. So I really thank him for orienting around that, those concepts. I wish him really luck. I would highly recommend people to really go through what Rishi does, experience that once, and then only they can really relate to what I'm trying to say here. I believe it's experiential. It's more than anything else. Once you get through those sessions, it becomes much more better.
Hello, I am Madhu Bhatnagar, a mother of two and a volunteer with the Art of Living. Whenever we pick up the newspaper, there's so much negative news all around us. Everything is dark. We tend to live in the periphery. And there is a need to come to the center and know that there is goodness. And we have Rishi, who comes as a breath of fresh air. And he brings the positivity to all of us. We were a group of us very keen to learn about the Bhagavad Gita, and we had the privilege that Rishi came to Embassy Habitat, and we had the opportunity of listening to his talks. We were enthralled, we were mesmerized, and it brought out so much of positivity within us. It answered so many questions. We wish the sessions would go on, and we are sure that he is here for a very big purpose, where we want to see a world filled with happiness and a lot of good stories. And Rishi is a good motivational speaker. He will make all the corporate world, educational institutes, students, teachers, parents, kids, everyone. He will make them happy and make them think about their own deep self and unfold the mysteries of the universe. So we wish Rishi all the best and a huge applause from all of us. And we wish he can come again and again. Everyone would love to listen to him.
Hello, I'm Viket Taneja and I'm NRI in Bangalore. I came about 5 years back here, and I was in search for some guru or some teacher who could quench my thirst for spirituality, as I'm a spiritual seeker. And in the process, I met Rishi, who has done residential course in Vedanta Wisdom Institution, and I learned the philosophy of Vedanta through him. He has been professing, he has been teaching for a long time, and he's very practical in implementing those ideas which look esoteric or look lofty, but he has been able to make it relevant to our life, to see to it that we get rid of our present day perpetual stress and other anxieties. In his classes, I found that he gives very relevant ideas, contemporary ideas, to implement those things in our life. Through Rishi, I learned the philosophy of Vedanta, which underscores the main tenets of Gita, which helps us in knowing ourselves as to what we are in ultimate truth. Earlier we used to have this feeling that the world is outside, but through these lectures we learned that the whole world is inside, and we are all one as super infinite consciousness, which helps us in making our living fruitful, productive, and helpful to others. The best part is that Rishi speaks in a very motivational and inspirational way, and gives anecdotes, illustrations, metaphors, which makes his narrative very convincing. And I have seen to it that if we implement his ideas which he floats in his lectures, we can make our life really worth living and enjoyable.
Hello. In the olden days, it is said that when there was a person of keen intelligence, a student who wanted to know more about life, he or she often had to wait a long time, even years, before they found the right source of information or the right teacher from whom they could take such teachings. The teacher, on his part, would consider it a great responsibility to share that wisdom, and he wouldn't just indiscriminately give it forward. He had to ensure that the purity and authenticity of the teachings go forward in the right manner. Today, there's a very different set of problems. If you go out in the market, you will find so many teachers, so many books, so many blogs, a plethora of information online. The challenge becomes, how do you pick the right one? And this becomes more important because what happens is, I've noticed this being a spiritual student myself, that many of the teachers, they take the truths, they understand it in their own ways, and they give forward their versions of it. So they're not necessarily sharing truths, but they're sharing their personal opinions, and that can put a lot of the students off. I have known Rishi for a very long time. When he told me that he's been giving talks on Vedanta and he invited me to one, to be honest, I had my reservations on this, but when I attended one of his talks, I was delighted to hear that not only the information he was offering everybody was pure and authentic, but his ability to take complex philosophies, Vedantic philosophies, and break them down, simplify them, and then put it forward to the listener for their everyday use without losing the value or purity of the teachings, that is what blew me away. So if you're one of those people who is keen to know more about life, is a sincere student and wants to learn more about the philosophies of life, I would recommend you attend the talks of Rishis, and you bring all your questions with you, because you're going to find this a very enlightening experience.
Hello, my name is Kirti. I'm a housewife, and I do work with children. I teach. I work with children from 6 years to teenagers. So I've had experience with different age groups throughout my life. I've been attending Rishi's classes, and I absolutely love them from day one. Every class of his is very interesting. Every class is explained so well, so deeply, that it makes me think of all of my life experiences. And it's given me a different perspective about whatever I go through in my daily life. And many times it comes back as a question, which we get the chance to discuss after his talks. So it's made me more mature, more open, more able to accept life as it comes. Rishi is a great speaker. He speaks so well and with so much ease that you just end up focusing from the beginning, and with so much ease also. And I'm grateful to him for the seva that he does. And it's a class that I'd never like to miss. And there's so much that I go back home and share with my family. So we all end up learning from it. And I think anybody and everybody would enjoy any class with him. Whether you're a teenager or you're an adult or you're a senior citizen, I promise you will love it.
Hi, my name is Jitendra, Punjabi, and I work as a research analyst. So I have been attending Rishi's classes for a while, and these classes have had a significant impact in my life, and need I say, it is a very positive impact. The essence of these classes has taught me how to take life with a pinch of salt. When I say pinch of salt, I mean success and failure. It has taught me not to get too bogged down with failure, at the same time not to get too elated with success. So the whole reasoning and logic probably goes back to identifying your true self, which is how you are linked to God or the Atma. And these lectures have taught me the whole linkage between you and the Atma, and it is backed by very strong logic. So anyone who has a very defined reasoning, he just comes in and says, okay, how is this whole thing linked? It's got not too much of high end, like you can say too much of spirituality, but it's just logic that you probably would, how you would explain it to a layman. So this whole equation has given a whole new perspective to life, and that's what is one of the key takeaways from these discourses. And towards the end, the icing on the cake, I think, is the meditation sessions. The last 5 minutes we have a quick meditation session which really helps to de-stress, rejuvenate your whole mind, and it gives a lot of positivity and confidence on the way you approach things. And I think I would very, very strongly recommend these discourses to people mainly in the teenage or who are entering the corporate world. It would really give you a very long, it would really help in a very long way to deal with the successes and the failures, and how to look at things very differently from a very spiritual perspective. So I again strongly urge everyone to attend these discourses.
Hi, my name is Parthiv Melwani and I'm a director at SAP Apparels Private Limited. I have a garment manufacturing business, and many a times I would find myself in situations at work which I would call stressful situations. Here I have found Rishi's talks on stress and handling of stress to be immensely helpful to me. What I really like is the way he explains what stress is all about. He doesn't just give you short-term quick fix measures on handling stress, but he actually gets to the root cause of stress and explains very well the anatomy of stress. And once you are able to understand the root cause, you are able to deal with situations a lot better for yourself and at work. I have found that to be very helpful, and I definitely recommend everyone to do his workshops, especially in today's fast-paced life. We all are looking at a balance in our life, and his workshops are the way to go for it.
My name is Bharat Palani, and I am the co-founder of Magnate Architectural Auxiliary Services. I got to know about Rishiji first when my friend introduced me to his classes. This was back when he used to speak at the Sindhi auditorium. His classes give me a lot of clarity of mind, and they help me enhance my spiritual quotient. Today, for every aspect of your life, what really acts as a foundation is your spiritual quotient. And if that is in line with the other aspects of your life, then everything else, including your actions, your results, are more fulfilling and progressive. I would highly recommend that everybody listen to his talks. They are not as one of those old school religious talks where he just speaks and you ought to listen to hours of lectures together. It's very involving. It's very engaging. There's a lot of humor in it. There's a lot of scriptures which he imbibes in today's modern times. And in the fast-paced life, you better have your spiritual quotient in place if everything else has to be progressive. I would highly recommend everyone who has a chance to have him come in contact with your life. There's going to be a lot of value addition, and you're going to see how your life changes by listening to him.
Hi, my name is Pooja. I was born and brought up in Spain. I was living there for 25 years and then I came down to India. And Rishi's talks, I found them very helpful and motivating, inspiring, because he not only knew the scriptures which was written thousands of years ago, but he knew how to apply them, how to show us the value which was over there. And values such as discipline, leadership, humility, they are so important today with our life. We are just stressed, everyone wants everything right now, very fast. Everyone just is worried about being rich the earliest, and we are losing on these values which are very important today. So I found his talks very interesting and inspiring, and he gave a lot of energy to keep us focused in our life. We will know how to deal with our personal life, our family relationships, with our professional life. It's very important today to have all these values again back in our society. And I will really recommend this for everyone to listen to his talks. And I'm looking forward to his workshops.
I am Commander Srinivasan. I was earlier in the Indian Navy for a long period of time. I took premature retirement and settled down here in Bangalore. And I was also working in a senior capacity in Tata Consultancy Services for about 16-17 years. Now that is, apart from that, from my look, you can make out that I am still young, around 71 years or so. This is my background for this body and mind combination. Now, one fine morning, I get a call from Rishi, and he introduces himself that I am a young person, I am teaching Bhagavad Gita, and is it possible that we can start a study circle in this area in Jalvayu Vihar? Will it be beneficial and will it be helpful? So I spoke to a large number of people and they were all very enthusiastic, very much interested. Why were they interested? Because if you really look at it, the core of the philosophy, Indian philosophy, is starting from Bhagavad Gita. Rishi came, he started conducting the classes, and we were enormously, enjoying his classes. A young person at this particular age sitting there and then talking about one chapter after another chapter without any prompt. One of those occasions we asked him, how did you gather this much of information? And it was then we came to know that Rishi has spent more than 12, 13, 14 years in Gurukula Abhyasa in an ashram. And that is how he has become a master of this particular subject. Now, I have read Bhagavad Gita earlier, but it is only when Rishi started interpreting it the way in which it is required to be interpreted that I started understanding it. You see, many of the people who know English and Sanskrit, they will be able to give word-to-word language, but that is not what is required in a class. Now, if a physics teacher or a chemistry teacher comes and teaches you, this is what it is, this is what it is, we will not understand anything. You have to come down to the level of the student and then start from there and then teach the subject to the average participant's capability. Now that is precisely what Rishi is capable of. Have I benefited? I have benefited tremendously. It is because after this understanding a little bit more of Bhagavad Gita, then we started going to the other two steps of Prasthanatrayam. Anybody else who would like to have, a comfortable life, the Indian way how we look at comfort, if you are looking at it, definitely you will benefit. But if you are only looking at money, which alone cannot give you pleasure, you cannot buy pleasure from anywhere else. You cannot buy peace from anywhere else. So if you are looking at all the material requirement plus peace of mind, then definitely it is worthwhile for attending Rishi's classes. And I think he will be able to touch your core and then make a change in you. If you are interested, you will be able to put it into practice.
I am Sunita Kamath. I am Satya Sai Baba's devotee. I used to lead in Satya Sai Mandir regularly when I was in Jayanagar 9th block. From the childhood, I used to recite this Bhagavad Gita. So when Shri Rishi, our Guruji, when he came here, I was delighted, and from that day we started attending it. We are very enthusiastic with that.
Hi, this is Sagar. I'm into my family business. So the first time I remember attending Rishi's class was with my mom. She suggested me to have a session attended. More often than not, people of my age group never, connect to spirituality, and even I was one of them. But then the first time I attended the class, I was very much convinced with his approach and his delivery of speech, and I was very much convinced to attend it for the second time. So what I like about Rishi is he is very good with his versatility, the way he connects the Bhagavad Gita to the modern world, and it really gives you a very practical approach towards life. I mean, very much convinced, and it's very de-stressing to attend his classes. And whenever I'm feeling de-stressed or something, stressful, I just get into the Facebook updates of his and try to just see few of his videos and connect to them, and then that's really very helpful to me. And I'm very much convinced with his way of approach to the Gita, and even I like his way he has his meditation classes, very very relaxing and very helpful to us. As such, I would definitely recommend you all to even go through his classes and sessions. It will definitely help you and give a very positive approach towards life.
I'm Leela. I have been attending different various classes on Gita and other scriptures for the past 25 years. And when I moved into this building, I had lost that contact with this. That is when a few of us got together and decided to get Rishi sir to do a class for us on the Gita. That is the first time we met with him, and it has been very encouraging, especially the way he talks and encourages us to apply the knowledge in the Gita in our daily life. That is the best part of his teaching. We really enjoyed his class, would have loved to continue, but due to his busy schedule, I think on and off he comes. But whenever he is here, we just love to hear him talk, because the way he encourages us to go on, even at this late age, he doesn't tell us to stop. He asks us to continue in this endeavor, and we have been doing it as much as we can in our own way. I hope all the best for whatever his endeavor, and hope he does well wherever he goes, taking classes either for the college students, the office goers, the students, the little ones. If he introduces the Gita in the schools and colleges, I think that will be the best that he can do for our country.
Hi, my name is Rachita Punjabi and I'm a homemaker. I always wanted to be a better person than yesterday, and Rishi's classes has really helped me to achieve that. Anger, frustration and agitation, these things he's really helped me to overcome, and today I actually get peace of mind watching his videos, and it's really nice the magic which he creates through his words. He connects to our minds, not only our age group but in fact all the age groups, and I'm really nice to see that way he connects Bhagavad Gita to the modern world, because some of us, we really lack spiritual values, so we can connect to them.
I'm Prem Madhwani, 78 years old, retired businessman. I have gone through Gita many times but could not understand the deep meaning of the Gita. It is only after I was introduced by Mr. Rishi into this subject, I came to know the good rahasya, or the deep meaning of the Gita, and that has added a lot of value to my life, and it has given me a lot of insight into the Gita, and I would highly recommend that his way of, giving and making the understand Gita, meaning of Gita, is very, 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 very useful to anybody.
Hi, I'm Shanti. I'm a financial analyst by profession. I used to work for an investment bank, but now I run an NGO and I also have a startup. I started going for Rishi's sessions when a friend recommended them to me. I am not very much into Vedanta and all of that, but after going for Rishi's first session, I became a regular for his sessions. I found Rishi's sessions very insightful. He has a real good knack for explaining the quite abstract concepts of the Gita in very simple terms which any layman can understand, with real life examples and also a really good touch of humor, which I found very entertaining. But I must say that not only was it interesting, it led you to think and ponder upon the very deep meanings in the Gita, which with even one line Rishi would explain for 1 hour or more of just expounding on that single line. To me, the biggest takeaway from the Gita sessions that we had was that we really don't own anything. I must say that I have read those shlokas many times. It has been explained to me many times before. But it was only after attending Rishi sessions that it really actually went home, that we are really on this planet, we work hard, we strive for many things, but we really do not own anything. This does not really mean that I work any less hard. I do work hard, I strive for things, but it has given me a very good perspective, I think, a balance, which makes me understand, which helps me just to take a step back and view things from a wider or a macro perspective, which I did not have before. So I would certainly recommend Rishi as a speaker, as a motivational speaker as well, because he does really make you understand the deeper aspect of life in general.
Hari Om, Om Shri Om. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Kukreja. I am a professionally a doctor, specialized in the anesthesia field. I attended Rishi's one stress management workshop also. So he made us understand the mind is most important. Whether the mind is controlled, mind is uncontrolled. An uncontrolled mind with uncontrolled desires will give you the more stress. The controlled mind with calmness, with knowledge of what is good, that will give us the no stress, and you will be the happy in the future, happy for the family, happy for the society, and that you will have the more sattvic nature of the behavior in your personality also. In future, if I get the chance to meet or to attend or to listen Shri Rishi Kewalramani's talk about the Gita Gyan, about the development of the person, personality development, I will definitely attend, and I'll tell my friends and relatives, watch him, listen him, understand him, and try to use those things in day-to-day life.
Hi, my name is Yogesh Prakash. From his teachings, I understand that there are things beyond this material world, and if you are well versed with this aspect of his study, you will realize that this is the strength that allows you to go on in this world and also gets you from the evils of the inefficiencies like stress, depression.
Hi, I'm Kamal Taneja. I'm a housewife cum painter, and because of Rishi I came in touch with Gita. and the Gita's teaching. So I'm very grateful to Rishi, and for the few months we have been missing him, so I'm glad that he's coming up with more lectures and institution, which we give our full support. And through our learning, I realized that there is more to Gita than we thought earlier. So I'm very grateful to Rishi, and he had all the patience to tell us in details and never hurried us. And I miss him. So God bless him, and I'll be happy when he opens his institution. And I would like not only older people, I want younger people to come, because it will help them in this life.
Hari Om friends, my name is Rani Balani. I am self-employed, working from home. Friends, I'm sure all of us have been asking ourselves serious questions about life at some given point of time, like such as who am I, what's the purpose of this life, what is dharma, adharma, what's karma and its consequences, and most important, what is death? Is there life after death? And I'm sure these questions are very difficult to answer unless we meet a person who is well versed in the knowledge of spirit, in Vedanta. Coming to that, where do we find such a profound, knowledgeable person, a true guru? Well, my search ended when I got the good fortune of attending the Reverend Rishiji's Gita classes. As I started attending the classes, I got answers to all my questions, to all my beliefs, to all my doubts, and I'm sure that all of us are looking for something, such a good opportunity. You know, friends, spirituality is not separate. It is not a ritual to be followed, but it is a way of life. And Rishi is a person who through his classes motivates us, guides us to live a life of spirituality in a day-to-day way. Like, you know, it's amazing. The experience has to be experienced. It cannot be put to words. Rishiji has devoted all his life to the study and practice of Vedanta, the true meaning to life. And out of compassion and love for humanity, he has started spreading this awareness and knowledge through his Gita classes and workshop. It is for us to get benefited. I have highly benefited from his classes. All my doubts are cleared, and the best part is he's so accessible. I can turn to him as a guide, a motivator, a friend at any given point of time, any problems, and he's always there for us. I think we should really make use of this opportunity and, you know, live a life of contentment and gain the eternal happiness. Thank you so much. Hari Om.
I'm Neha Kukreja, staying in Embassy Habitat. Hari Om. Rishi sir had come here, and that's the time I got into knowing Bhagavad Gita. Before that, I had no knowledge about Gita. And I'm so inspired by his lectures that till today I follow. Anywhere I get a message about Bhagavad Gita, I want to rush and get the knowledge. He was the person who inspired me, and it gave me happiness from inside. I have learned so much about Bhagavad Gita from him. He's the person who really gave me the knowledge about what's Gita. Gita is about how we should live our life. I was living even before, but he's made the changes in my life, and that's Rishi.